Morning, fellow zombies. Are we alive yet? Are we awake yet? Are we emotionally screwed up and sleep deprived? Or are we sleep screwed up and emotionally deprived? This is the zombie we returned to Roseman, California. It is 2:22 in the morning for Friday, the 16th of August, 2024. My dog is at it again. Yeah, some nights she's having a good night at a time. She's going to keep me up until about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, then I'll fall asleep. Yesterday, I know they were talking about, and I think they also the day before yesterday were talking about data breaches left and right, and everyone else is having a conniption fit over it. But for the most part, all I keep seeing on the news reports is about the damn election crap and Donald Trump this, Donald Trump that, J.D. Vance this, J.D. Vance that. But the one article that got my attention that I had to go on the internet for is about a data breach that happened a few months back when somehow some information was hacked. Information was sold on the internet and the dark web about what the media was trying to freak out about, but all the political crap took the headlines more. That there are certain records out there that are out there in the dark web that everyone else is going to be freaking about for the next few weeks or less. And I had to do some backing on this one. Most of the corporate media is doing the same play. Some of them have different sources, but it's still the same thing. Information did get pulled out from different data sources that people do constant background checks on. And a lot of information was taken back in April. And part of the information was sold out, and then there's involvement of the Department of Defense involved in this thing. That wasn't bad enough. The media is going crazy saying that we have to protect our information as much as possible. There's a couple of websites that one or two tech-savvy guys on the local stations out here in California. There's a guy named Rich on Tech. I don't know if he's doing a corporate sponsorship for these guys, but there's a couple of websites out there to check upon. The station I went to was ktla.gov, actually ktla.com. Rich on Tech, one word, .tv. One of them, I happened to plug in for information. Found out my main site for my email had been selected, but it hadn't been targeted yet. So I had to go to another site just to see if I actually was. And apparently I wasn't. So they haven't gotten me yet. There was also information about a lawsuit happening. Class action lawsuit against this company. What was it again? Nationalpublicdata.com. So in the federal district of Florida, there is a class action lawsuit. Got it. Downloaded it. Just trying to get the highlights on this thing. But also I had to do a background check to see if there's anybody else reporting anything else other than the national media. And I found out a website called cribonsecurity.com. And on this site, they are talking about, it's an in-depth security news and investigation blog. On this one, they are talking about, in their article, it says nationalpublicdata.com hack exposes a nation's data. A little bit more slant on it, but trying to get past the corporate media going ape on things. It's interesting read. I'm going to have to put this on the put this in the description when I get a chance. She must be obeyed. She's still up. She's not going to give up tonight. Give me a second. It seems she's really having a rotten night tonight. Arthritis or something like that's getting to her. Anyway, I got to get her to the vet shortly. I've been dreading it. Talked about it in the videos I've gotten. It's not easy dealing with a dog who's wants life, but she doesn't want the misery. She can't take the pills or medications because it's hard to get stuff down her throat. Even if I happen to disguise pills and cheese, I still have to shove it down her throat. And it's not that easy dealing with her like that. Sometimes I have to keep petting her and holding her and putting her down on the floor again. I've got areas set up where it may look like a messy pile of clothing, but it's got my scent in it, and it's for her to lay on and sleep on. Her own sort of pillow. But I have to keep an eye on her every so often. If I'm lucky, during the daytime she'll sleep, and maybe I'll sleep a little bit. But nighttime it's getting bad. It's getting worse and worse. It's getting that crazy. For those who've been dealing with dogs all their life and who had to do the last runs at the vet, you know how hard and difficult it is. Now on my channel, when I have the camera angle going on most of the time, that cabinet right behind my left shoulder, top shelf, is the resting place of my family and my dogs. And no, I don't have any black and white pictures, but maybe I should get some somehow. But until that happens, it just hurts like hell when I'm dealing with my own dog going through it. She still has life. She's still struggling like crazy. If or when she gets her dander up, she'll be able to walk around and run if she has to. The dementia's kicking in. Sometimes trigger her one way and she's able to run. But I know sometimes when she was running all over the apartment over here, I keep things the way they are so she doesn't run into anything new and she won't injure herself as much. I'm more worried about her injuring, getting herself banged up, breaking bones somehow. Worried about her. Old, blind, deaf. She's still got life. And she still don't recognize me because she don't lick me as much as she used to. His scent's not as good, but she still tries. But she'll still cry out. Get my attention. And when she's in my arms, she's settled. Unless she goes into her rants again. And she's having a conniption. She worries me a great deal. She worries me a lot. So I don't know what I'm going to do at this point. Except to deal with it as best as I can and hope that my dog will be able to survive and deal with things. But right now she is just she's getting to me. Because she is worrying me a great deal. She ought to be. She's my dog. She does worry me. It's not easy losing family members. My channel had been dedicated on dealing with my own loss, my own memories. I was using it as an emotional and memory archive, a way to judge how I'm doing, a way of telling people how I'm doing. In the event that if I happen to take that last trip to somewhere and not coming back, at least there would have been footprints. There would have been records. If what one last decision is made, that a lot of people don't like to make, legal as hell, social stigma, whatever they called it, the choice made. I wanted breadcrumbs. I wanted a path back to the original source of the issue, leading up to the point of departure, if it's going to be voluntary. There had to have been some kind of clues. I've heard so many times that other people, when they commit, they didn't leave that many clues, or if they did, people didn't catch them. What was the visual clues that they missed? What was the auditory clues? What was the physical clues that they left behind? What was something to backtrack them on? What was the pattern? What was going on with them? I know they say there have been changes of behaviors and activities. I've heard that for so many, for so long from different doctors and different sources. Any major celebrity or anybody famous, if they happen to kill themselves, let's say it. I'm just saying it. Was there a record? Or if it's just somebody who's not famous, maybe another loved one who did it. What did it leave behind? What was the clues? What was the postings out there? What was the emotional state? Now, me, I'm no doctor. I'm not a guru of anything. Okay, I'm not lettered in anything. I've got 58 years and some odd days of experience of life, watching, observing, and participating in a few things here and there, including death. And death is not fun. I'll tell you that much. No, I don't have any scars on the chest. Actually, on the wrist, but I got a scar on the chest. Heart operation. I got a scar, faded, but still here. IV, and also, they were using that for exploratory area. Get a camera into my system just to see where the hell the blockage was in my heart. 4 years old, open heart surgery, trying to correct mitral valves that were leaking at birth. Yeah, you did see him. Constant bug war here. Kid you not, constant bug war. Got them all over the damn place. Not fun. Roaches galore in this place. I was talking about heart operation. A lot of my channels kept talking about it. I was born a month early, preemie. Crooked limbs. Crooked leg limbs anyway, and arms are alright. But I had to wear orthopedic shoes and a brace when I was born, so they can get my limbs fixed without surgery. Cheapest way they could. It worked. It worked. But they didn't know about the heart till I started getting sick, and then almost 4 years of my life going to the doctors, and they couldn't figure it out. Nobody was sharp-eared. No one had a sharp ear for it. Till there was a pediatric cardiologist who heard it. I think his name was Burton Fink. He heard it. and got me into the hospital that quick. There was a community hospital right next door, and they were going to stabilize my ass. And then I had to be transported to a major hospital for surgery, immediate surgery. It's freaking my mother out because she didn't have the money to pay for all this stuff. A friend of the family put up half of it. The rest of it came from a insurance group called Crippled Children's at the time. Saved my life. And on a heart operating table, they were trying to repair number one, and out of body experience, and then there's the tunnel. I'm going home. Voice out there saying, John, it's not your time. Go back. Second time, they're going for the next valve. One got sewed up. The other one, they're going to be putting a patch on it. While they're doing the patch, I'm out the body again. I'm freaking these doctors out. Again, John, it's not your time. You got to go back. Third time, they weren't going to try anything because I was too stubborn. I wanted to go home. Again, John, it's not your time. Go back. So they left that leak alone. But it would force the doctors to keep an eye on me for, God, how long? 20 years, more than that. Cardiac tests, halters. Echograms, blood work. I started resenting the medical industry for using me as a damn lab rat. I should be grateful to the medical industry for saving my ass. No, I got PTSD from these guys. I had a lifelong. They called it white lab coat syndrome. Basically, when you see medical establishment, blood pressure rises, pulse races, anxiety level goes crazy. It says, "Oh, it's just common because of it's medical." Not really, unless you have intense fear built in, and nobody ever talked to the kids growing up about how much they hate doctors. But we had to keep telling them and keep forcing them to say, "Come on, you got to be brave, you got to be tough, you got to be doing this, you got to be doing that." I learned how to resent doctors and medical establishment real fast. And then resent my parents for that one. Actually, my mother about it. My father was a biological sperm donor, did a hit and run on my mom. Oh yeah, they had the passionate fling, and then the result of it, he stayed out of it. He hid. He ran. Never in my life ever. Yeah, lifelong. Ooh, lifelong resentment on that asshole. I'm still working on the resentment issues. That being said, sensitive skin. Itchy. Well, that being said, I mean, that's part of the things I'm going through these days. And my channel will talk about it. On Facebook, I'm constantly posting grieving stuff left and right because of the stuff I had been through for most of my life, not just of my death, but seeing other people and animals, which are still family members, as they pass away. And I have to keep closing off the emotional well, and the spigot of emotions. How to shove everything else aside and just not cry as much or mourn and grieve until last 11, 12 years, a little bit longer than that, taking care of Ma. She calls. All right, man, I'm stressed, guys. Yeah, well, you're the one griping and grumbling. Don't argue with me. Don't argue with me, young lady. Well, I wish I could be sleeping. Come on. Easy does. Whoa. Easy does, girl. Easy does it. What? Well, what? Come on. You're just... You're fussing the fuss. Yeah, you are. Come on. Let's get you back to bed. Yeah, well, you are fussing. I'll be in here in a few minutes, and then you can drive me crazy after that. Yeah, she's stressing. She's stressing. She's still got life. She's able to get around, but she's stressing, and it's coming close. It's coming close. Death is never easy to deal with. I know because after losing my mother back in 2013, their grieving became worse and worse. There was a family friend and surrogate mother that had been hanging around our family for about 40 years, her and her family. She passed away right after my mother. And then we lost contact with the surrogate family, me and my big brother David. The picture that you see, the bottom shelf, Mama back in 2013, Big Brother back in September of 2018. The anniversary is coming up next month. I'm not dealing with it, but I got no choice. I've been caregiver to both of them. Last several years of Mama's life, I was working closely with my brother, and yeah, I was practically 24/7 with my mother most of my life anyway, actually all of my life. But really hadn't been putting myself into a caregiving position until you know, losing losing my grandmother back in the 80s was eye-opener. My grandmother was stroke-bound, bedridden, about 3.5, almost 4 years. I was hard enough growing up as a teenager in here and dealing with my grandmother's constant needs and Ma's belly aching about it all. Trying to get help from family and friends to help with her as she cared for Grandma before she passed away from stroke. So I had that going on in my family. So Mama, she was losing she was losing faculties left and right. Slowly but surely. More and more bedridden. Dave and I were doing the constant 24/7. I had a full-time job, got injured on the job, got disabled on the job, and still had to work. My brother had already been disabled a long time ago, but managed to work through it until his health started taking a turn as well, even during taking care of Ma. Watch the videos, he's having angina attacks left and right, bad back, bad knees. Military veteran, had injuries to his back and knees in those times. Recovering addict, alcoholic, 32 years, clean and sober when he passed. I also had another dog, Papillon Terrier mix, black and white. I'd seen him suffer and struggle through a stroke as well. And at the time couldn't afford to get the last visit going until his ashes are still up there on the top shelf. Yeah. These things I put up on my channel, these things I talk about besides politics or anything else happening, including what I've been talking about earlier today. But when I usually talk about things like this, I usually start off saying this is the diary of the griever named John Weaver, which is me. And I'm setting the audience up for the personal stuff. But if I'm going to be doing anything else, I usually do it a zombie routine or just a basic log report on this one. I've been triggered a great deal. I talk to people about it. They're going to be seeing this one too. But this goes on a regular route anyway. So I'm probably going to be cutting this because I got to take care of my dog to sleep this morning. Sleep, I'll get that. I get cat naps, that's about it. But even after I don't want to make plans. I don't want to start doing anticipations on her. Bad enough I got to deal with it head on with my own damn thing coming up. And I don't want to deal with that idea. But I'm dealing with hers. And it still hurts like hell. Yeah, that's my morning, guys. How's your early in the morning?